Hey, hi, hello. Hey everyone, it is your YouTube grandma, weird quirky makeup artist friend Cat Sketch here to bring you a chit chat get ready with me video about weight, confidence, my lack thereof, growing up as a thick mixed Asian girl. Because I feel like a lot of people feel a lot of pressure during this time to get a workout routine going, to be mentally okay, find things to have fun, to not eat all the snacks, to still look good. I am not like, I guess I've been called voluptuous growing up and thick, but I am not like apparently extremely like full size. I don't know. Why are humans determined and labeled by value size meals, labeling and weird things? Why can't a model be a model? Why does it have to be a full figure model? Why does it have to be a plus size model? Why can't they just a model be a model? Apparently I'm mid-size. I'm like a size, if I'm feeling thin, I'm a size 10. Usually I'm a size 12. I'm only 5'3". And I've gone down to like 118 when I was anorexic, and I've gone up to like close to 200. It's crazy. A lot of people, I feel like when it comes to weight though, some people cannot gain weight, and that sucks too. And some people, their idea of them being fat is totally different than my idea of being fat. My range is like 115 to 200. That's a big range. Some people's idea of fat is 90 pounds to 130, and 130 to them is fat. And they could be the same height as I am. I'm a little dumpling. We don't mean to say that negative, because in Asian cultures we find food as our love language. Growing up, I didn't know. I thought my family was just weird. My Asian family didn't love me as much as most American families, because they don't say, I love you, I'm proud of you, I care about you. Only recently, since I moved away, I've been getting told that they love me. But growing up, I was told, you should already know that. When I asked them, Mom, why don't we say we love each other? I was told you should already know that. It's just different because Asians, again, their love language is food. And how I knew this growing up is that I didn't know it until I was in my 20s, a grown adult, and my grandmother was shouting at my mother, her daughter, in a grocery store, and they were fighting, shouting at each other at grocery stores, restaurants, about who pays for food, because food means I love you. I made you fried rice, I love you. I spent 12 hours prepping this delicious New Year's Day Japanese meal. I love you. Now that I realize that, I realize why. I wanted all the love and attention. I was the sensitive one, and I think it's because I was the only girl, and I wanted all the hugs, and the only person I could get hugs from was my mom. And since love languages in Japanese culture was food, you bet your butt I was eating all that love till I felt like I was gonna puke. I remember growing up, for instance, I not only was thicker than most Asian girls, I was voluptuous, meaning I had titties. Still do. That's like the first thing the male species sees, like, you've got boobs. I know. And I knew when I was 8 years old, 4th grade, we had PE class in a school right across the street from my parents' house. And I liked PE. I was really good at kickball. I liked playing on the rings. I liked we had this thing called the turkey trot around Thanksgiving where we ran. I liked PE. But the thing that destroyed my entire idea of myself happened in the 3rd grade during PE. Because my PE teacher, Miss Petru, I remember her, everyone was staring at me that day. And we had a uniform at this school. Our uniform happened to be white t-shirts or red t-shirts with blue pants or shorts. That was our school colors. So I had a white t-shirt, a polo. Sometimes my mom got me like a floral, like little lacy design on my collar of my white t-shirt, or I had like a scallop design on the collar of my t-shirt, and I really much appreciated it. Sometimes we could wear blue jeans, and I had like, I loved flowers even then. I had blue overalls with a beautiful sunflower embroidered on the tote part. So one day, everyone was staring at me oddly throughout the entire PE class when I was running. I'm like, do I have something on my clothes? What's wrong? And then the teacher realized that everyone was staring at me as well. So what had happened was I was called over not only by the teacher, but the teacher sent me to the principal's office. And I'm like so confused. I made sure as an Asian person to have the best of grades in PE and I tried my best. I did not know why I was being sent to the principal's office, because in my mind I thought the principal's office was for the kids that did spitballs in the bathroom and tried to push other kids off of the gym. But I didn't do that. I was always afraid of being in trouble, so I did everything I could to not. So I was about to have a full-blown panic attack, about to cry, walking my head down low to the principal's office. When I got to the principal's office, Mrs. Blackmore was my principal. She took me into the nurse's office and they had a little womanly sit-down chat with me that I want to erase from my memory, like the little Men in Black little ting. Just want to erase this part out of my memory. There's a lot of parts out of my life I could wish to erase, and this is one of the first ones. Because these women sat me down to tell me, Miss Kate, why are you calling me Miss? Yes, I'm 8. We need your mommy to come here and bring you a bra. I'm like, what? A bra? I thought that was for adults. Think again. I am 8 years old. 8. Not 13, not 15, 8. When I was learning cursive back when, I don't know if they still have cursive in school, but that's the age I was. When you're learning cursive, when you're just learning to multiply is when they want me to put a bra on. Because overnight, beyond my recollection, I went from a flat chest of pepperoni mosquito bites to a B cup. Just skipped training bra, and when I was 8 years old, I had a B cup chest. And you know why I know I had a B cup? Because that day, after I was embarrassed of being picked out of my class from everyone staring at me, and going to the nurse's office saying I need something called a bra that I know nothing about. I had to go shopping at JCPenney with my Asian mother who has, sorry mom, tiny boobs. And I, at 8 years old, already had a rack as big as my mother's. This was horrifying to me. I remember crying most of the day. What's a bra? Why didn't anyone tell me? There was wires. There was the underwire. There was already formed cups. There was unformed cups. There were training bras. There were sports bras. There were t-shirt bras. There were every kind of bra and brand you could think of. And I had to try them all at 8 years old at the department store. And I hated myself in my life from that day forward. Because I was so confused. Why couldn't I go to Limited 2? Why couldn't I go to just a girl's store to get a bra? Well, it's because my tits are huge. In a couple of years, I could apply to Hooters. I felt so unprepared and mad at everyone. And after trying almost every single bra, I finally got a sports bra. And I would wear a sports bra from then on all the way until almost I graduated high school because I hated my body so much. I hated it. And the worst part is I didn't want any other color sports bra but a white sports bra, because back then they didn't have cute sports bras that were pink with glitter that zipped in the front and had like air wicking technology. I just had a white sports bra that literally looked like a medical bandage. And you could see it through my white t-shirt. But at least they could see this weird thing I'm wearing under my shirt that I didn't understand that was holding me, I could barely breathe, compared to, I guess they saw my nipples the whole time. No one told me they saw my puffy 8-year-old nipples. Well, they did probably tell me, because they told Miss Patricia, my PE teacher, and then she had to send me to the nurse's office. After I had said bra, I started going to these extra classes with all the other girls where we got charts, we got pamphlets, we got pads, we got kits, everything under the sun. We had this class separated from the boys, and I learned about periods. Do you remember that? Why'd they separate the boys from the girls? I feel like they should have taught us all everything at once and we could all stare at each other and laugh. I don't understand it. We need to learn about well, not condoms that early on, maybe not. I don't know. I hope kids weren't doing the nasty at 8 or 9 years old. But I'm gonna use this BH Cosmetics palette because I like it and it has the colors I want. After I graduated from elementary school and moseyed my way onto middle school, is it still called middle school? Do they still have middle school? I remember I was like 10 to 11, 12, around that age to go to middle school, is when I started having all the things that I learned about in elementary school. If you think this is too TMI, well, I'm sorry, I should have warned you beforehand. But I remember I was in PE class again in PE class in the 6th grade. So I was 10 years old when I felt like I accidentally peed my shorts. I went to the bathroom like, I've never peed my shorts. What is happening? What are this? And it's the thing I learned about back in 2 years ago in elementary school of periods. I had my period in PE and I was horrified. Not many other people had their periods at my age, and on top of that, the people that did were so embarrassed they didn't talk about it. Now I hear girls have period parties. That sounds like fun. But back then, nope. No period parties. You just be quiet, be silent, and hope you get to go excuse yourself to the nurse's office to get a pad, which is what I had to do. I was so embarrassed. Just mortified. Because again, I was from an Asian family that did not talk about sex education at all, or about female bodies because I was the only girl, or feelings. So hi, I'm this magical unicorn weirdo who looks white in an Asian family, who has too many feelings, has her period, and huge tits. That's me. So what happened then? Once I had my period and I started graduating middle school and going to high school, my boobs, I didn't know, were gradually getting larger and charger inside my chest because I kept wearing the same sports bras. I probably only bought and changed my sports bras, meaning buying new ones, from elementary school to high school 2 times. Because they had so many yellow sweat stains from me sweating, trying to constrict my chest so that I wouldn't look crazy compared to the other kids my age. Like, why does this girl look like she could be one of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders with how big her chest is? I remember specifically once I got my bra, when I was called to the PE. I was also in gymnastics at that time after school because I was one of the only girls at my age who like did a cartwheel on the balancing beam, and I thought I was so proud of myself for the very first time ever. But then the tits came along and they ruined my life because I was so embarrassed that you could see them through my leotard that I had huge tits, and I would fumble with them when I did my cartwheels and everyone started pointing at my tits. So I quit gymnastics because of my boobs and got into softball and volleyball. Volleyball was hard with boobs, to be honest. Softball was okay. But I was still wearing the same sports bra in all sports in school and every day. So it was getting too much while my tits are growing. So once I got into high school, I swear to you, sophomore year of high school, I don't know what happened that summer, but I had to throw away all of my nasty, crusty, dusty sports bras to get an actual real life female woman motherhood lifetime achievement goal of getting a real bra. And you know what my size was? I started off as B, haven't checked my bra size changing as I grew. You know what size I was? I was a D. And that's not even where my boobs would stop growing. But in sophomore year of high school, I was a D, and I had to wear a real bra. I wore real cups with real underwire, because when I didn't wear the underwire and I went like this while I was in the changing room at the good old JCPenney again, my boobs would fall out from underneath me, underneath the bra, because they were so big and obnoxious. I was like, I don't want these. Can I just take them off, set them on the side of my nightstand, wash them, let them sleep next to me, and then if I have to put them back on the next morning, I'll do it. I was so sick of boobs. I'm the only girl, I'm the only one who has to do this. My mom doesn't have big boobs. Where'd I get these big boobs from? I don't want to be different. I just want to hide. Back then, like when you're a kid, a lot of us, we just want to hide. But then when we grow up, we were like, oh, the uniqueness makes us different, which is true, but back then, I don't want to be pointed out at my big boobs and be bullied, and then guys like me for my boobs. I don't even realize that's why they like me. I thought they only were being annoying to me, and so they beat me up because they like me. I hate that when boys beat up girls and then people are like, oh, it's because he likes her. No, it's because they have a terrible parent that taught that kid that. If you knew how many boys liked me for my boobs and weren't brave enough to beat me up and hired other people to beat me up in high school, it was ridiculous. That's what happened to me. Boobs were like a curse for me. I feel like I've never used my full womanly powers of boobages. I feel like a lot of women who have big boobs somehow learn the magic powers to unlock the awesomeness that could happen with boobs, like getting free food, or I just wasn't that type of person. I just saw it as like, why would I want this? This is terrible. Why do women want these? It's the worst. Like even now, my boyfriend I'm sure likes them. I'm like, really? Okay. And I'm in my 30s and full grown. Like my boobs were such a nuisance. All I wanted to do was shop at Limited Too, but I couldn't, because that's another thing. When you go from having 0 to hero D chest overnight practically, or it went from literally 0 to B, I couldn't shop at Limited Too like the other girls. I remember going to that store with my friends and just standing there, and they asked me what looks good on them, and I couldn't look at any of the clothes because my huge fun bags, my huge over the boulder shoulder holders, they were like not wanting me to try out anything. You remember the cute Target clothes you see in the kids section? Those pieces of clothing have never touched my body. It's unfortunate. I went from like a child, toddler size to, I swear, like a Mrs. I remember they had like, back then when juniors had plus size, they were like in a mystery hidden section of the store that was deep down, that you had to have like some hidden password, know a certain person to get there, because I didn't know. And it was like, imagine when your friends could shop in normal clothes sections and you have to go to the Mrs. section, which is basically what women who work in offices at that time wore. And it was just the most horrific experience. I shouldn't say that, I'm being dramatic, but it was just unfortunate. And this was before, know how now Forever 21 has like a cute plus size section, which I don't even know why they separate plus size from regular size in the first place. I feel like they should have it from extra small to 6X and everything. But no, we want to separate them to make everyone feel like they don't belong together. It's such a weird thing. We didn't have plus size sections in Forever 21s back then. Back then, Forever 21 was like for club girls, and it was like all the same weird, like 5 different colors and spandexy material, and everything was $5 and below. And now Forever 21's boosted up, but I mean, they're not a great company. I heard they're going out of business. Have they gone out of business yet? I don't know. And Hollister, forget about it. I mean, the CEO and stuff of Hollister is a terrible person anyway, where he says that only good-looking people could work or wear at his shop or work for his clothes. That's why they have half-naked models displaying their clothes in the first place. So those stores I knew were not for me. I remember they had like plus-size Mrs. clothes, which is women's. They had like specialty shops that were a little bit more expensive but cuter stuff than the regular department stores. And I had one plus size friend back then. We would go there, but it'd be like at a weird part, abandoned side of the mall that was by like the cookie stores. It was, so like you're smelling cookies. It's like they strategically placed the plus size like section by the cookies and stuff. And the Hollister and everything else, I feel like this is a conspiracy theory thing on how there's mattress stores on one street in every town. The same thing where they put plus size stores right in front of those stores that sell cookie cakes or Cinnabons or Wetzel's pretzels, stuff like that. And if you go to Hollister, I'm sure it's going to be right by the Sephora, Apple store, something that's really trendy and fun that has nothing to do with food. I feel like if you look into malls, that's the case. Or maybe I'm just being over dramatic, but that's what my history and my past reminds me of. And since I was in a family of all boys, it was super cool because that means they have to share hand-me-downs and I get all the new clothes, but then everyone was too embarrassed to ask me the size of my clothes, or they didn't know the size of my clothes, and I was so picky because I didn't know the size of my clothes. I didn't know the size of my bra for 5 years of my life. So they would just give me socks, pajamas, and shoes. That's all I would get, which I'm not complaining about, but I thought it was hilarious. So the amount of underwear, socks, pajamas I've gotten over the years is insane. Even to this day, as a grown adult, I still have some of my pajamas and stuff that I got when I was younger with penguins on it. I'm a creature to comfort, so it's a big collection of socks and pajamas. I remember one time I had a shop in Tilly's in like their plus size section because they were the only few independent stores that had a plus size in some of their clothes, not all of them. And I got this really cute shirt that I love that my mom let me buy that summer, and it said Wild Child or Wild Cherry, and it had cherries on it with little rhinestones around the cherries. It was just a plain red long sleeve shirt with little tiny cherries above my fun bag tits, and it had wild cherry and rhinestones with pictures of cherries. And I had this really fun friend whose parents were really conservative, and they saw me come to their house with that on, and I never got to see that friend again because my chest and my shirt were too racy, or it was against their beliefs, I should say. I feel like it was ruining my friendships, it was ruining my life, it was ruining my introduction to how boys treated me, it was ruining my introduction to how my friends were treating me. I had a lot of friends that were probably, I know for a fact, they were jealous or upset that they didn't have their like boobs or periods, but I'm like, take them. If I could trade you, I would. I don't want them, they're a curse. I had so many friends who made like weight loss a competition or getting bigger boobs a competition, and it's just like, bruh, I can't do this weight loss as a competition because the only way my grandma's ever gonna tell me she loves me is if she cooks me enough Spam rice rolls. So why would I want to ruin that love by not eating them? It's not gonna happen. Do you guys remember that movie Spanglish? That was like one of the only movies I remember seeing that really spoke to me and made me bawl. I've only seen it 2 times. It's hard for me to see because it came out during the time where I was trying to grow out of that phase of like being really self-conscious with my body. And if you guys didn't know, like I've been so self-conscious to where like I did go through a stage of anorexia from being, and I'm not gonna say what diet company I was on, but I did go on some diet company thing that didn't promote me, but it was like a competition of me and my friends on this diet company thing. It was terrible. Don't let other people peer pressure you. If they are, they're not your true friend. You know, I know it's easy for me to say because I'm not you. I'm just telling you my experience. And me as a child growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s, we had Christina Aguilera's Dirty music video to look forward to as our body image goals, and Britney Spears, but I can't imagine what it's like to be in this era with Kylie Jenners and the Kardashians and stuff like that. That's why I'm nervous to have kids too, because I don't want them to face what I face with body issues and not knowing, well, I'm definitely gonna know I love my children. Not with just food. Hug them, tell them I love them and appreciate them, and I'll always be there. I just wish I had like one of those brother-sister things back then, like a mentor, because I could have used it. Oh my gosh, and now there's Brandy Melville where it's like one size fits all. That would tear me to pieces as a younger person. I've heard so many conversations of girls hating their bodies, and it's just like, why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? So once I found out I was thicker than a Snicker than the average girl with these tatas, I was like, ooh, I should join Girl Scouts because who knows cookies more than me? No one. I will sell all of the cookies that you offer me. I will sell them all. I know so much more about these Girl Scout cookies, all the different tagalongs, Samoas, Thin Mints, Do-si-dos, more than any other girl because I've eaten them all. So I joined Girl Scouts, right? I joined Girl Scouts early too, like in elementary school, but I was one of those weirdo Girl Scout girls who stayed in there so long to where like it went from like the blue uniforms to the brownies uniforms. There's like graduations of your age, and I was like green, about to go to whatever senior level, and I'm like, I'm out of here, I gotta go. But while I was in Girl Scouts, I had so much confidence in myself of selling these cookies that I know more about every classification, savoriness levels of these cookies than everyone else. But then I didn't realize that these skinny girls with the parents who worked these high CEO jobs at Hershey's Chocolate Factory would sit their butts in front of their parents' corporations and sell out every single cookie they had and would win competitions for selling cookies because their parents worked for the sugar addiction factory itself at Hershey's Chocolate. So of course, these people would buy all of the Girl Scout cookies from them. I was so upset because I thought I would literally find something that I could excel in, because as a half Asian girl, I was from a family of all boys. These boys would be able to sleep in their classes and barely do their homework and still get A's, 4.0 GPAs, get into college grade calculus in high school. One of my cousins had over a 4.0 GPA more than 1 year throughout their whole school career. While sleeping in their classes, they would go to business school majors, sleep in their classes more, and I would struggle so much, almost be failing everything while doing every single extra credit, every single homework assignment, turning things in early, and I would struggle, don't know why. Why did God gift me with boobs and being different and the only girl who can't even be a correct Asian of excelling in school? Not saying that all Asians have to excel in school, but that's what I was taught, and I couldn't even do that. I remember even to this day, like when I was with my gay guy friends, like I didn't know how to act. I don't realize I have boobs and stuff, to the point where I would be talking, they're like, oh my gosh, Kat. And I'm like, what? And they're like, I didn't realize you have huge tits. And I get so embarrassed, I turn red and I go like this, because I always hid them. I always wore cardigans. I was so annoyed that I had boobs. Like, why couldn't I just be normal? And I'm like, yeah, and it's cause like I don't realize them so much that they're actually hanging on top of the booth that we're sitting at the restaurant, just like, here's my boobs. Cause I don't realize it, that they're there. I was so self-conscious, I didn't start wearing dresses and painting my nails until I met Bunny as a friend. That was way into my adulthood, and I was so like, not used to being around girls, not used to having boobs and being feminine around boys all the time, that until Bunny came in my life and showed me how cute dresses and comfortable they are with shorts underneath it, and how fun makeup is and painting your nails, I was like, oh my gosh, finally a sister who's showing me all this, unlocking the magic of fun. For the first time I have fun like wearing all my vintage cottage Victorian dresses and grandma muumuus. I remember I have a cousin who got boobs done because she said she wanted boobs that were as big as or bigger than my boobs. And I'm like, oh, you want this curse? You could have had mine if you just asked. We could just chop them off and give them to you. I think my insecurities also were stemming from how my mom treated herself, because she also grew up with eating disorders. And I would always see her not wear her hair up, even when she was cooking and sweating to death. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, Mom, why don't you put your hair up? I would tell her, if you're so sweaty, and she would never even go into a swimming pool or swim because she was too afraid of looking gross or fat in a swimsuit, or gross having her hair down. She thought her face looked too fat and round with her hair up. So she would avoid swimming, putting her hair up if she was hot while we were camping, just all the things. And it made me so sad, because I told her, like, why don't you just put your hair up? Like, no one cares. But like, that's why I want to wait to have kids, to make sure I'm mentally sound, so that my kids don't leech off of any insecurities I have or anything that I didn't fix in myself. Because I have so many people that tell me, oh, you should have had kids by now, you're getting too old, you should have kids young so that when you're older you can still have fun after your kids are gone, and all this stuff. But I also don't want to damage them because I'm not prepared, or could be more prepared to have kids that I don't put my messed up thoughts onto them, on their pristine little baby cherub brains and souls. I don't want to taint their souls with all the bad things I've been through and that mess up my attitude, the way I look at life and treat life. I don't want to put that onto my kid. And it still scares me because my boyfriend tells me all the time, like, oh, you're so pretty, you should be more proud of yourself, you should have more confidence. But it's like, I didn't know any different. It's hard to just switch overnight. And some lip gloss. But now I'm definitely more confident to go outside, wear dresses, wear for what I want, because I'm a grown adult and I pay my own bills in my own house and I can do whatever I want now. And if I had been able to tell my younger self that now, I've been like, you need to tell everybody about your bullies, because these boys need to stop beating you up to the ground every single day. You need to tell if you're being abused, tell someone. It's just so hard because I was afraid of upsetting my family if I told them anything. Like, I would disappoint them if I told them I was getting abused, that it was somehow my fault for having boobs. It was my fault for being at the wrong place at the one time with my boobs, being a female. I didn't know how to act because I'm the only female. I feel like females are so powerful, and like, we have to support each other, and like, there's so many things that I hope one day I have a daughter and I could cherish her and teach her all the things on how to prepare for all these crazy things that life is gonna throw at her. But I'm already gonna be able to prepare for her and tell her how like beautiful she is, and how like, just because you think someone else is more beautiful than you, like, don't worry. Like, I just hope that happens. I'm gonna put my lashes on and I'll be back. And we're back with some Dollar Lash lashes in the style Lexi, and I put some pink shimmer on the pink part of the eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup of bubblegum pink realness with violet and blueberries. While I talk about my insecurities, we all have them no matter what size. Everyone likes to pick out the differences when we are younger, but when we are older, we hopefully learn to embrace them because they make us unique individuals, and all the hardships that we go through just makes us stronger, more complex, and better. I know it's hard in school now or just growing up in life, but it will get better. As cheesy as that sounds, I remember one time growing up, I was visiting one of my friends and she had an older brother, and I was told that, oh, I am very voluptuous, sophisticated girl for my age, and that my friend's brother might be interested in me because he's into Asians who are voluptuous and thick, meaning he's into mixed Asian girls who are dumplings, like myself. It's like I'm a hybrid kink dumpling girl. I don't want to be someone's kink, I just want to be good for someone. That's why I found Corey. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. Leave a comment down below on any struggles you had growing up about your appearance or weird things about your personality that people are like, what is wrong with you? But it makes you who you are. Don't let anybody change you. I know it's hard you want to change to become like everyone else growing up, but trust me, it'll all be okay. I love you guys, and you can subscribe for more videos every Monday and Friday. I post a video here on this channel. Hope to see you in the next video. Love you, creators. Bye!